Talk to us about opioid. Did the FDA fail?
The FDA did fail. There were many parts of our healthcare system that failed. Look, I feel terrible about the opioid epidemic. I personally prescribed opioids with misinformation. It was taught to me by my chief resident in my surgical residency. And we sort of woke up to this problem around 2014, 2015, and thought, oh my God, what have we done? What information did we not have? I think was regulatory capture at the agency. Now, we can't prove that, but when the reviewer immediately goes to work for Purdue Pharma after approving OxyContin for chronic pain, and the approval for chronic pain was based on a 14-day study.
Have we seen the last chapter of that?
No, we're going to look at the label for OxyContin and that class of medications and ask, how can we ensure that it's accurate and consistent with the science?
How does your approach to science and common sense avoid the next OxyContin?
One of the first actions I took was to remove all industry members of FDA advisory committees wherever statutorily possible. And so we've got to preserve that scientific process, and we've got great scientists that are doing that right now. The second thing is that we need to have eyes on a drug and device the second it's approved and keep eyes on those drugs. We shouldn't be learning 19 years after OxyContin was approved that it may have killed nearly 1 million Americans in its downstream effects with other drugs. We should be able to approve a drug and with big data, go into big data with our eyes, with our epidemiologists, and watch a drug to see if there are safety signals that emerge. One of the broken things about the FDA that I learned just last week was that bureaucrats at the FDA had the ability, a small group had the ability to block a safety epidemiology study by our own safety epidemiology team. And so we are announcing we're getting rid of that ability to block a safety evaluation. And we want that safety team to work freely without any barriers. There's a bit of a conflict of interest. If you're the team that approved a drug, you may not want to be embarrassed to learn that there's a safety signal down the road.